Hello, everyone. Welcome today, and I'm so glad to have with me today a good friend of mine, Ken Snider. Welcome. I appreciate you joining me today, brother.
Glad to be here.
And you ran, we're still talking politics. We're meet and greeting all the candidates, and you ran a close race last time. You ran for county commissioner. You ran on the Democratic side.
Right.
And this time you qualified as a Republican.
As a Republican.
You've always been more of a conservative anyway, so you're more in line this time with what your beliefs are, aren't you?
This is true. I do believe that I kind of had an error in judgment last time, running against D.M. Mullis on his party ticket. I should have ran as a Republican. My beliefs are along the Republican line of thought.
Well, and when your background, especially military, and a lot of people that know Ken, just a great military background, especially you served in the Air Force and the Army. Now that says a lot about a person. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I started out in the Air Force, and that was at the end of the Korean War, and they had a riff of officers, and they brought them back down into the ranks of senior NCOs. I was a junior NCO, and all I could see was I would stay in that rank until I retired if I wanted to make a career. So I got out of the service, and I had 4-year reserve time to, I was committed to 4 years of reserve time to the Air Force. And at the end of the 4 years, I re-enlisted or enlisted in the United States Army, and I spent 29 years total active service time. I enjoyed my Army career. That was quite entertaining. Mm-hmm. My family liked it more than I did. They loved the security. And at the end of Korea, there was a recession similar to what we're going through now. Maybe not as bad, but it was quite severe. And being on active duty, my family thought it was quite nice. We had housing, and we were transported all over the world, and we just enjoyed it.
How do you think serving in the military, and a lot of people retired out of the military has gone on to serve in public service, how do you think that'll help you?
Well, I'm not sure. I was in what they would call junior management, not as a commissioned officer, but as a senior NCO, platoon sergeant, first sergeant. It gave me the experience of being in a leadership position kind of in the middle. Mm-hmm. And that's where I believe a county commissioner is. He has the constituency that he has to service and take care of, District 2 that I'm running for. And then also he has his own personal ethics that he has to abide by. Mm-hmm. So I think it gives you a good background. Secondly, it gives the impression or knowledge that after 29 years, I do have a tendency to stick to it.
Amen. Yeah. That's an understatement, isn't it? Yeah. Hey, and of course, I know your family very well, but tell our viewers about your family. And I skipped through that part because I guess I know them so good, know sure. Y'all. But tell everybody about your family.
Well, I've been married 3 times. First 2 wives are with God, and the last one, 34, going on 35 years of marriage. Mm-hmm. We have a daughter that's 30, excuse my math. She's born in 1978.
Right.
And she's 34 years old. Uh-huh. And she's a cancer victim, and she's beaten it. She had childhood leukemia. That was a trying time for us. She went through 5 years of chemotherapy. She's in remission and still is in remission and doing well.
Yeah, she seems to be a beautiful daughter.
Yep, she's still single, but I'm not advertising that.
Right. Disclaim that right there, especially if his wife's listening.
And we have, I have several children from previous marriages. So I have grandchildren, and they're spread all over the United States. Mm-hmm. Some of them are in Florida. The majority of them are in Michigan. Mm-hmm. I have 4 of them in Kentucky. We get to see them. We travel occasionally. If the gas prices come down, we'll travel a lot more. But right now, not so.
Why do you want to serve on the county commission?
Oh, like I said last time, 4 years ago, I have some ideas that are different than D.M. Mullis's. I think that should be brought before the commission and before the constituency. Hopefully I'll win this primary against the gentleman I'm running against. And in that debate with DM, I hope to be able to bring that to the forefront of what my ideas are versus his. I think that'll be an entertaining campaign after July.
And what Ken's talking about, and it's a very crowded race here in this district for county commissioner. We've got two on the Democratic side, and of course you and Mr. Martin on the
Right.
Republican side. So on July 31st, if you go in and claim to be a Republican and vote as a Republican, you'll vote for either Ken or Mr. Martin. And if you register as a Democrat and vote as a Democrat that day, you'll vote for either DM or Miss Sandra Jones. And then in November, the winners of those two will meet in the November general election. And the reason I explain all that, because I grew up here in Dublin. I don't ever remember this happening. You know, of course, for so many years we were all just Democratic, you know, and of course Mr. Buddy Adams opened the door. You know, he was the first Republican elected as far as, you know, local election, county commissioner. But so a pretty crowded race there, and it should size up to be an interesting race. Of course, in the debate coming up at the end of this month, be you and Mr. Martin, and to get past this, you have very deep, I know you good, very deep conservative values. What do you think? Is Lawrence County in line with conservative values? Are we getting more conservative? What's your general feeling there?
I think we're running a little bit right of the middle. We are conservative, but we're not overly conservative. We're continually pushing to bring industry into the county, which is great. Unemployment is bad, but not as bad as some places here in the, Lawrence County. We have some great businesses here. The VA facility that's here is expanding. They've just put on or just constructed 4 new wings out there. I think that's also quite commendable. The nursing school that is on the VA property that was given to Middle Georgia College has started to graduate nurses now. They're also filling the slots at the VA hospital, and that's also great. And I really think more than anything else is that we tend to want to keep what we have here. So we're pushing very hard to keep the industries we have and the businesses that have set up here in Lawrence County to stay here, so that it is, I guess you would call, not the center of the state of Georgia, but we're trying to be there. And eventually we'll get pretty close to being the center of the state of Georgia.
We hadn't talked about this, but some of the other candidates that are running, not incumbents, but some of the people who have qualified to run have mentioned they're in favor of term limits. What do you think about term limits? Do you think someone should go in and serve as long as they can be reelected, or what's your feeling on term limits?
I think it's a good thing. The reason, I'm not a spring chicken, but we have young people that should get involved in politics, should get involved in the community, and if, not against DM Mullis. DM's been county commissioner quite a few years, I think 16 now. It's time for new ideas. I have new ideas or different ideas than DM, but I also think that we have young people who are more energetic, that can possibly change the way we look at how our politics are going in Lawrence County. And I think we should have term limits. For me, I would like to be your county commissioner, but after 4 years, I may not want to be county commissioner. I've never had the job before. And then again, maybe I'd like to stay for another 4 years. That's something I'll have to make a decision after. Hopefully I get your vote and I get elected.
People out there that want to vote before we go and they want to talk to you, and we hadn't talked about something that's of interest to them, and I know you're very accessible, but tell the viewers how to get in touch with you if they want to talk to you.
Well, if you want to talk to me, you can call my home phone. It's in the phone book, 875-4848. Or you can call me on my cell phone, 279-0702. either one of them. I carry the cell phone with me all the time right here. I don't know why. It's a it's a leash that keeps snapping tight on me, but I'm like everyone else.
Right. How do we ever live without them? Huh?
How did we live without it? 10 years ago, we wouldn't even consider having a phone.
Amen.
But it's our technology that's caught up with us, and it's not just the young folks, even the senior citizens and older population.
Okay, the number's on the screen right there. You just call Ken. Anything you want to say to anybody? I know you want people to vote for you.
Oh, certainly. I want your vote. I wanted your vote last time, but I fell a little short. This time I hope to prevail, and I hope to be your county commissioner, District 2. And I will be accessible anytime if you need to contact me.
Yep. The numbers are right there on the screen. Matter of fact, last time you got 30-something% of the vote, so that's very good for you. First time in politics. That was very good. Hard work, isn't it?
Yeah, quite exciting.
It is fun to be involved in our local community, and it's people like Ken Snider that make that possible. Thank you for joining us.